One of the most popular ways to get clients online in terms of Facebook ads and what's touted as getting cheap leads using Facebook ads, super easy to do, is this thing called Facebook lead ads, okay? And if you don't know what they are, what it basically is you've signed up for them most likely. You see an ad on Facebook, you click it, and it immediately asks for, you to answer one or two questions, maybe go to another little page on Facebook and then enter your name and email, and it'll pre-populate it, most likely with the email address that you're currently using on Facebook. And then you submit your information and maybe get an email, and then you just keep scrolling. And a lot of coaches try those. A lot of coaches are taught to use those. And quite frankly, you could not be using a worse way to try and get coaching clients off Facebook than Facebook lead ads, okay? And I want to explain to you why they are so bad. But first of all, I want to explain to you why coaches are taught them. And one of the reasons why a lot of coaches are taught how to use lead ads is because if you're teaching somebody how to do them, they're really easy. Super easy to set up, super easy to coach, super easy to teach people how to do. And so from that perspective, it's easy. And the other benefit is, theoretically, which doesn't actually translate into sales, is quite frankly, they're cheap. You can get extremely cheap leads. Email addresses, names, phone numbers, all that kind of stuff, super cheap. But why don't they work? And what do we do instead? Well, let's talk about the three biggest problems and why it's extremely hard to get coaching clients using cheap lead ads. So the first biggest problem that we have is that what's happening is the leads never leave Facebook. Now think about this for a second. Your ideal client's scrolling. Maybe you're a life coach, right? And they see your ad, how to increase your confidence, live the life you want, whatever it is, right? And they're like, wow, that's awesome. And so they answer a question and then auto-populate their name and email address, click submit, boom. And it's like, hey, you can click this link, which very few people click, and they just keep scrolling away. And the problem is, you as the coach, you now send them an email, which they're not going to open. They have no idea who you are. They don't know what's going on. And so the level of connection is, quite frankly, a disaster. So you can phone them. They'd be like, what? What are you talking about? You send them emails, broadcast, they get into your autoresponder. They're hitting the spam button, all that kind of stuff, right? And you're like, why is this not working? It's because they don't know who you are, but they're cheap. Facebook loves lead ads and rewards coaches to use them because it keeps people on Facebook. And the longer they stay on Facebook instead of leaving it to go to your site, that means Facebook gets more of a chance to serve ads to them, makes more money, also engages them more. You know the game. Now, the second reason why they are so bad, I got all my notes here, is because you're optimizing for the wrong people. Now think about this for a second. They're not leaving Facebook, and so they're not really a very good lead. They're quite frankly garbage leads. I'm sure they're very nice people and, they'd be great to talk to and all, but they're not buying anything. And the second problem is Facebook is optimizing for those people. So you run your campaign to 1 million people. Facebook's only ever going to run your ad to about 0.5% to 1%. Rarely ever more. Okay. And that's just the way it is. And so guess who they're going to optimize to run your ad to? People who look like the people who are filling out your lead formats. Do you see what the problem is here? So now your ad account is essentially in pixel and all this kind of stuff is lining up, optimizing to the wrong people. Not only are you, first of all, getting people who are not committed, don't care about anything. I sign up for lead ad stuff all the time, and then I'll, check my email an hour later. I'll be like, who is this? Why are they emailing me? Right? And I'm actually signing up to see what they're doing, marketing wise, oh, what are you guys doing? And I can't even remember who they are. I'm not committed to buying. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not going to sign up for any of their stuff. And so Facebook is creating a feedback loop and finding more people like those people who, quite frankly, are not going to do anything. So what does that give you? That gives you cheap leads who don't know who you are. You're optimizing your ad account, your pixel, your campaigns, your everything. So Facebook can go find more of these people who will give you more garbage leads, who won't do anything. Are you starting to see the problem here? And so you might think, well, all these other gurus and ad agencies and experts will tell you, oh, just give it more time. The AI needs to figure itself out. Think about that. It's true if it's working right. So if your ad is going into the wrong part of your audience and you're giving it more wrong data, and Facebook's taking that data to optimize to go into a pie slice of your pie, what do you think it's going to do the longer you run those lead ads? It's going to get you more of the same garbage leads, and it's going to make that connection deeper and deeper and deeper. But again, one of the reasons why coaches do this is because they'll oftentimes hire people to set up their Facebook ads for them, and those agencies and experts will build a lead ads campaign because it's easy to set up. And so they can charge you a lot of money to set up something that's super easy. It doesn't work, but then they can blame that on you. All right. Now, the third thing is the biggest issue that we have to deal with on top of all these issues. But before we get to that, I'm going to ask you to do two things. First of all, hit the subscribe button, okay? Subscribe to this YouTube channel because I'm always creating new stuff on what's working, what's not working, how to get coaching clients using ads. I've spent millions over the years on Facebook ads on my own money, help a lot of clients, helped over 1,000 clients over the years, and we want to share with you what's working and not working. Second thing, if you're in our Skool community and you've seen it because of this, down below, there's a link, and that link is to a 15-minute Skool success call. And what we want to do as you being a part of our Skool community would like to offer you a free 15-minute call. On that call, we're going to work with you on helping you on making sure your ads are correctly set up, looking at your campaigns, giving you some suggestions, feedbacks, how to make it better, what you can do, problems you might be experiencing, give you some feedback. Plus, we're going to unlock some bonus training that we normally have reserved for clients. And this is a free call. Nothing to buy. Don't bring your credit card. It's a gift we provide for people, coaches who are in our Skool community. Okay, so you want to book that call. It's free, and it saves you trying to figure everything else out and figure out what's working. You know, we've done hundreds of these, and we know exactly what you need to be doing, what you should be focusing on, what you've done, maybe that hasn't worked. We can help diagnose it, all that kind of stuff. So just click that link and book that call. Now, the third reason why lead ads don't work and why they're a complete train wreck for getting coaching clients is you're not getting any sort of commitment out of people. Think about it. Even if those people do go to their email address, they don't know who you are. You're not positioned as an expert. They're not reading your text messages. They're not reading your emails. So even though you got a cheap lead, Facebook's probably sending them to interested but committed people because of the feedback loop that's created from all the garbage leads who have signed up. So none of these people are committed. And so it's going to be really hard to get a non-committed person who doesn't know who you are to somehow, engage them only by email when most of them are not going to read your emails. In fact, I know of a coach who did this strategy and they lost their email list because their email service provider shut the list down because it was so much spam. And they were in like a life coaching niche or something like that. They weren't in a money-making niche, but it was so bad that the email service provider, whatever it was, just said, you're not emailing that list anymore. We're cutting this thing off. It's so much spam. Our system can't take it. And I looked at them like, you're not sending anything bad at all. Okay. So there's no commitment. So how do you expect these people to become clients? Okay. So lead ads are literally one step above opening a phone book out and cold calling people to become a coaching client, or just direct messaging people on Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or something like that. It's a terrible strategy. I have never seen it work at scale. But remember, it's one of the most popular ways to get that coaches use because it's easy to teach, it's easy to implement, it sounds really good, and Facebook likes it. Okay, it's nothing against Facebook. Now, what do we do instead? Remember, Facebook is your best shot at getting clients. If you're not using Facebook ads right now, you are literally missing out on the greatest client generation opportunity in the history of this universe. It has never been easier to open a campaign, do it right, load a budget up, and find your ideal people, have them booking calls within 24 hours, especially on a platform where your ideal clients are. Never been easier. So if you're not using Facebook ads, you need to. If you are using them and not getting good results, here's what we want to do. We do not want to use lead ads. We use regular campaigns that are properly structured to go after people who most likely have money, using a proper audience, getting them into a automated webinar where we can get them to a show up rate about 70, 60 to 80%, and then have an opportunity to have them in a vacuum where your own little ecosystem where you can show them why your three things: the best option, the only option, and most importantly, the last option. Because they don't need to be comparing you to everybody else. You need to be seen as the last option. Then they book a call. Think about it. They spent 20, 30, 40 minutes on that webinar. 70% of your email list showed up. What do you think the quality is going to be like compared to a lead ad, right? And then also now they're on the email list and we can email them, get them to book calls. Okay. That's the strategy we need to use, because we're going to get qualified people from the ads, and it's going to tell Facebook, go find me more people who look like the qualified people. So that's what you need to do. Don't use lead ads unless you just want to brag about cheap leads. All right. So here's what I need you to do. Click that link below, book that Skool Community Success Call. We're going to look at what you're doing. We're going to give you feedback on wherever you're at and what you're trying to do, what you've done that maybe hasn't worked. We're going to give you suggestions on what's working in your niche. Like I say, we've done hundreds of these calls. Most likely we've already helped people who are in your niche. We know the numbers. We know what you should be spending. We know how much you should be paying, what your results should look like, ads, all that kind of stuff. So it's only 15 minutes and it's going to save you hours potentially of wasting a bunch of time figuring this all out on your own. And there's nothing to buy. That's why we can get so much accomplished in 15 minutes, because we're not trying to sell you anything. So keep your credit card in your freezer, book that call, get over there now, and have a great day. And don't use lead ads unless you just want to waste your money. Take care.